Hi, my name's Evan. I'm the owner and inventor of Scorch Marker. And in this video, we're gonna show you how our product works by wood burning this design into this giant piece of wood. Let's get started. The first thing that we have to do is make sure that our surface is smooth and prepped. Now, we've already pre-sanded this because we didn't want to waste your time. But to give you some insight, we use our sanding block. We have different varying degrees of sandpaper that Velcro to this block. These are available on our Amazon store and our website, by the way, if you don't have anything like this. But it makes it really handy to sand with the grain and get our surface ready for the stencil. Remember, when you're sanding your project, you want to sand with the grain, not against the grain. All right, this surface is good to go. So we're going to use a paper towel and we're going to wipe it off. Now let's grab our vinyl stencil and get it stuck down. Now, we're going to start by removing the white backing. Luckily, my better half already completed the weeding, so we don't have to do that. Oh, almost lost our Y. All right, and let's apply our design. Right there works for me. That's good enough. Now we're gonna take our scraper and we're gonna press this design down nice and firm. You don't want the stencil all loosey-goosey because when you apply the scorch marker, the liquid will seep underneath and bleed into the wood. And we don't want that to happen. Awesome. We wanna make sure we really press down on those letters because those are important. We need them to be nice and crisp. Okay, now that the stencil's pressed down nice and firm, we're gonna grab an X-Acto blade here and we're gonna remove the transfer paper. This can be one of the harder parts to get started. You guys know how it is. Nice. We got lucky. Awesome. The transfer paper's been removed. Now it's time to start filling our design in with our scorch marker. Now you'll notice that there's two tips. The big end you can unscrew to reveal a brush, and the small end you can take the cap right off and to reveal a bullet tip. If this is your first time using your marker, make sure you press down on a paper towel to let liquid flow from the tank of the marker into the tip. There's a little spring-loaded valve in here. Once you've seen that liquid is fully saturated on the tip, you can dab away some of the excess and start filling in your design. It's really that simple. Now with the scorch marker, a little goes a long way. So you don't have to apply a lot of liquid. You can see that I'm just barely rubbing it on the surface here. What's unique about our formula is that it will get darker with the amount of heat that you apply, not the amount of liquid you use. So we're just gonna use a little bit and we're just gonna start filling everything in. Just dab away some of that excess. If you ever use too much of the scorch marker liquid, you can always dab away some of it. The last thing you want to do is have way too much on there. Okay, we have all of the design filled in, and I think it looks pretty good. Now, if you want to really reduce the chance of this design bleeding or the liquid wicking into the wood around it, leave the stencil on there for like 5 to 10 minutes and don't remove it. In the meantime, you can grab your heat gun and you can start heating it up. Let's talk about heat guns for a moment. This is an 1800 watt heat gun, also known as a hot air gun. We're gonna crank this sucker all the way up and turn it on high so that we can get it preheated. What we wanna do is we wanna come in hot and fast when we heat up this design, because if you apply too much heat, the wood around your design will start to darken. We don't want that. While I heat this up, I'm gonna start removing the vinyl stencil from our design. It took a minute, but we finally got all of the design removed and our heat gun is nice and hot and ready to go. The next thing that we're gonna do is start applying heat nice and gradually. Now, remember, keep your heat gun moving. You don't wanna leave it in one spot and burn the wood. Watch how I do this. Now, you can see that there's some areas of this design that aren't quite dark yet. And that's okay. You don't need to apply any more Scorch Marker. What you need to do is come back with your heat gun and apply a little bit more heat. Let me show you what I mean. I like the way this looks, so I'm gonna leave it here. But remember, if you want yours nice and crisp and fully dark, feel free to go back and apply as much heat as you need to. Now, one thing to note about heat guns, if this is what your heat gun looks like, it's probably not gonna work. These heat guns are made for embossing and they don't get hot enough. We're working on a formula right now and we're about to release it, and it will work with these. However, if you have one of our Scorch Marker Pros, you cannot use an embossing or crafting heat gun for it. You have to use something that looks like this. The last step is to apply a wood finish to protect, seal, and make your design pop. I'm gonna apply some wood finish now so you can see how this design's gonna look when it's entirely complete. Check this out. And once you have a little finish on there, this thing really pops and it's nice and sealed and protected. Apply as many coats as you like, and when you're done, just simply let it dry. And that's all there is to it. I hope you enjoyed creating this project with me today. I know that I did. If you have any questions, please comment below because we read every single one of them. They're really important to us. If there's anything else we can do to make your crafting experience better or easier, please let us know. That is our mission here at Scorch Marker. Otherwise, happy crafting.